I've got 4 NBA situational trends and angles for you that are active on today's games. We're going to get right to them. And as always, though, I advise you guys never to make a bet based on any single trend or angle. This is just part of your handicapping process. And for this first trend, we are looking at just this season. We're looking at the Utah Jazz. We're looking at them when they're at home and they're coming off back-to-back road games. So previous game was away and previous game was away. And you can see that despite an average line of just minus a half point, so basically a pick 'em, the Jazz are 8-1 straight up and against the spread, winning by nearly 11 points per game on average. And you can see that that is active today when they are a big home underdog against Dallas. Let's go right into team trend number 2. And guys, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell for notifications. I also ask that you please hit the thumbs up to like this video. I would greatly appreciate you doing so. For this next trend, we are going to look at, we're going to go back to last season, actually. So almost 2 full seasons. We're looking at the Cavaliers. We're looking at them when they're taking on an opponent with a winning percentage of less than or equal to 25%. So these are the worst of the worst teams in the league at the time they're playing. And we're looking at them against these teams in games where the total posted is less than 220. When you do that, you can see that the over-under is 1-11, only one over, 11 unders. What I really like, even more so than the record, is the margin. These games stayed under the total by an average of more than 12 points per game. Love the double-digit margin there. You can see that this is active tonight, the Cavaliers hosting the Hornets. We are going to move right into trend number 3. And guys, if you want me to look up any other trends or situational angles for today's games, drop them in the comments. If you have found any that you find that are active for today's games, please drop those in the comments as well. We would all love to see those. For this next team-specific trend, we're going to go back almost 3 seasons now, full seasons that is, to the 2021 season. And we're looking at the Grizzlies when they are away. And sight streak isn't a parameter that I've used a lot. So this is a good learning lesson here. Sight streak less than or equal to -3, -3. When you use the sight streak parameter, if you use a negative number, it is pointing to road games. And if you use a positive number, it is pointing to home games. So when we say here sight streak is less than or equal to -3, we're saying that the Grizzlies have played on the road in at least their last 3 straight games. So the Grizzlies on the road, when they've already played at least 3 straight games on the road, going back to the 2021 season, and you can see the over-under is 0-10, no overs, 10 unders. Love the margin, another double-digit under margin here. These games have gone under by about 11 points per game on average. And you can see that this is active tonight, Memphis visiting the Denver Nuggets. And our last trend or angle of the day, and this one is going to be actually an NBA-wide situational angle, which I prefer over the team trends anyway. That's why I like to throw those in there when I have some that are pretty good. Before I get to that, though, guys, if you head over to wt.buzz/db, you can see that I've got a couple of big NBA plays tonight. I've got a 4% NBA early game. It's backed by an angle that is a perfect 12-0 since the 2012 season, and those 12 games covered by more than 13 points per game on average. So you'll want to check that out. I also, if you scroll down the page, have another one. It's a later NBA play backed by situational angles that have cashed 88% winners. I include all those details in the write-ups so you'll know what those trends and angles are. I'm number one in basketball at WagerTalk this season across the board, and that's college and NBA combined. Number one in profit, number one in win percentage, number one in return on investment. So you want to check these plays out. Also, um, I do have a coupon code that is active right now. If you use coupon code Dwayne7, that's DWAYNE7 at checkout, you will get $30 off my 7-day all access pass. That code is also good for any WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicapper. Again, that is DWAYNE7 for $30 off a 7-day all access pass. From any WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicapper, you can get mine at wt.buzz/db. Last trend of the day, and this is not a trend really. I call them league-wide situational angles because it will apply to any team for which all the parameters are met. And so for this one, we're going back to the 2020 season. We're looking at home teams, and we're saying that the line is less than or equal to -10. So we're basically looking at double-digit home favorites here. What all this means right here, if I can highlight it, TS is team sum, and then in parentheses, what are we looking for the sum of? Well, the over-under margin. How many points these games went over or under the total? N equals 3 means we're pointing to their last 3 games, and then greater than or equal to 18 means that we want that over margin, the over-under margin over the last 3 games to be at least 18 points or more. And then at the end here, pretty much all the same thing, except instead of the T at the beginning, we have the O. O is pointing to the opponent. So this double-digit home favorites opponent has an over-under margin or has gone over the total by at least 36 points total over their last 5 games because N equals 5. Now, if this number here was negative, it would be pointing to the unders, just for future reference. So we're looking at double-digit home favorites that have gone over the total by at least 18 points total in their last 3 games, and they're facing an opponent that has gone over the total by at least 36 total points in their last 5 games overall. And when you look at those, what you find is these teams, these double-digit favorites with an average line of -12.3, they're 12-5 straight up, but they're only 3-14 against the spread, failing to cover the spread by nearly 8 points per game. You might have heard me say this before. With all these trends and angles for basketball, I love the margins to be at least 2 possessions, so at least 6 points. We do have that here, and you can see that this league-wide situational angle is active in 2 games tonight. It is telling you to fade the Nuggets, back the Grizzlies. It is also telling you to fade the Rockets and back the Trailblazers. That is going to do it for today's NBA Trends and Angles video. Again, don't forget to drop any trends and angles that you have for today in the comments, or if you have any you want me to look up, just drop me a line and I'll check them out as soon as I can. Don't forget to head over to wt.buzz/db, grab those big NBA plays for today, as well as use that coupon code there on the screen while you can. And as always, best of luck on all of your wagers today.